The dust swirled through the checkpoint as Maya signed the visitor's log, her wedding ring catching the harsh Afghan sun. She'd flown halfway across the world to spend 3 precious days with her husband, Captain James Rivera, at Forward Operating Base Sentinel. It had been 8 months since she'd felt his arms around her. 8 months of empty dinners and one-sided conversations with his photograph. Now, finally, she was here. James met her at the gate, his smile breaking through the exhaustion etched into his face. They walked together toward the small quarters he'd prepared, talking about everything and nothing, both avoiding the calendar that would tear them apart again in 72 hours. Maya had been a competitive shooter before they married, winning state championships with her precision and patience. But that life felt distant now, replaced by spreadsheets and quarterly reports at an accounting firm back home. If you're connecting with Maya's journey so far, stay with us because what happens next will leave you speechless. That evening, as they shared a modest dinner in the mess hall, she noticed the tension in the soldiers' shoulders, the way their eyes constantly scanned the perimeter. This wasn't just a base. It was a pressure cooker of vigilance and fear. James squeezed her hand under the table, as if anchoring himself to something normal, something beautiful in this desolate place. The attack came at dawn on her second day. Maya woke to explosions that shook the earth beneath their cot. James was already moving, pulling on his gear with practiced efficiency. "Stay in the bunker," he commanded, his voice stripped of tenderness, replaced by the authority of a commanding officer. Then he was gone, swallowed by chaos and smoke. But Maya didn't go to the bunker. Something pulled her toward the armory, where a young soldier barely 20 stood frozen in panic. "They've breached the east wall," he stammered. "We don't have enough shooters on the north tower." She saw the rifle leaning against the wall, a modified M24 sniper system. Her hands moved before her mind could question. The weapon felt foreign yet familiar, like greeting an old friend after years of silence. She climbed the tower stairs, each step carrying her further from safety and closer to something she couldn't name. From the elevated position, Maya could see the nightmare unfolding below. Insurgents had exploited a gap in the defenses, and James's unit was pinned down near the communications building. Before we continue with what Maya did next, if this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more inspiring stories like this one. Through the scope, the world narrowed to breath and heartbeat, to wind speed and distance, to the fundamental mathematics of saving lives. Her first shot dropped a militant advancing on 3 trapped Marines. The second saved a medic dragging a wounded soldier to cover. Muscle memory returned like a resurrection, and with it came a clarity she'd forgotten existed. She wasn't just shooting targets. She was rewriting fate with each carefully placed round. Time collapsed into a series of calculated decisions, each one measured in borrowed seconds and preserved futures. The firefight lasted 17 minutes, but felt like 17 lifetimes. When silence finally settled over the base, Maya's hands were shaking so violently she could barely descend the tower. James found her sitting on the bottom step, the rifle across her knees, tears streaming down her face. He knelt before her, and in his eyes she saw not just gratitude but recognition. She'd saved 11 lives that morning, including his. "I thought I left this behind," she whispered. "I thought I'd become someone different." James pulled her close. "You didn't become someone different. You became someone whole." 3 months later, Maya returned to Afghanistan, not as a visitor but as a civilian marksmanship instructor, training soldiers in the precision that had once been just a hobby. She discovered that running from your gifts doesn't make you safe. It just makes you smaller. Sometimes the person you're meant to be is waiting in the most unexpected places. In the moment when everything falls apart, and you finally remember how to aim true. Maya's story reminds us that courage isn't always loud, and heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they're just ordinary people who refuse to hide when the world needs them most. If her journey moved you, if it made you think about the gifts you might be hiding from the world, Share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. And tell us in the comments, what talent or passion have you been running from? Your story matters, just like Maya's did. Until next time, remember that your moment to rise might be closer than you think.